I was in the middle of my sophomore year when I found out I was pregnant at UT.
We are seeing record numbers here at Hope Resource Center. We're on target to see 1,000 more people this year than what we saw in last year alone.
I was on my way to work and just knew I didn't feel good, knew I'd been sick, knew something wasn't right, and so I just went by myself. No one on earth knew that I was going. Started crying while I was filling out the paperwork.
We kind of started, God kind of challenged us to have a rally cry for heroes, for men to become a part of what we do. And the way that they can do that is help us keep doing what God's called us to do by staying on the front lines, helping those that are in a crisis because they're facing an unplanned pregnancy. They don't know what to do.
Once I came and sat in the room and Luann started talking to me and she asked me all these questions, and then she said, "You're about 5 weeks along," and I was like, "Along what? What are you talking about?" At first, I sat in silence, I think for 30 minutes, and just really, that was the part of me that was in shock, and it wasn't real yet. And then once it was, I was trying to figure out how I was going to tell my family, which that was all I could think about really, was disappointing my parents, my mom especially, but really it was so far from that now.
We need 500 heroes. We need 500 men that will stand up and say, "I support what you do, and I'm going to help you to be able to continue to provide the means to be able to do that."
Without hope, there probably would not be Nolan. Really. And he's the best thing that's ever happened to me. We pursued adoption, and Luann was crucial in that, and she got my family involved in it and educated us, and I never once felt like I didn't know all the information I needed to know to make the choice, and that was from Hope. All 3 options, I knew everything because of that and because of you all.
Just spending time with Jordan and hearing her say that Nolan, her little sweet baby boy, would not be here today if Hope wasn't here. It's those days when it gets really hard that we get to see glimpses of that. And that's why we keep doing it, because there's going to be more Jordans out there. And we need to be ready and equipped to holistically take care of every single person who walks through our doors and provide them a Christ encounter. This is a safe place. It's non-threatening, non-judgmental. And we have incredible staff and nurses that stand ready to help them make that decision and walk beside them as they're making that decision.
My uncle is literally the world's greatest man. He loves me like I am his own, and he's always made me feel that way. And the best part about it is he makes Nolan feel that way 100 times more. My little cousin, who's 17, his name's Sammy, my aunt keeps Nolan during the day, and so when he gets home from school, he just plays with him. He's 17, he could go do whatever he wants to, but he plays with him at least for a couple of hours, and Nolan eats him up. He calls him Bub. Those 2 bonds between them and Nolan are something that I couldn't have even really imagined to even pray for, because I would have never expected them to just completely drop stuff for someone they didn't have to, and they do it for both of us.
One of the worst things that happen nowadays is we kind of say, that's not my problem, it'll go away. you know, I'll wash my hands of it, you know, or I'll ignore it, and it's not really an issue. But it is an issue, and any of us that got children and grandchildren, we got to get in this fight. You know, we're losing, and if not us, who? If not now, when? When are we going to do this thing? It's time.
Well, that's actually one of my favorite quotes of anybody who's ever said anything about Hope Resource Center. It's very true. I think that's the one way Christ has challenged us. If it is not the body of Christ, then who will do it?